with you, sir.
Well, that is the case. He's just repeated what it is that he has been telling us in private, even before the elections and after the elections, when he was considering a number of persons he thought could fill various positions. And so yesterday was yet another opportunity to say it to us and also to all Ghanaians to listen and understand what it is the marching orders are to his various appointees. I do know that Ghanaians are concerned about accountability and transparency in the sports, various sports, not just financial accountability, but even the game itself, transparency in the game. How do match commissioners behave? Do they really assess situations truthfully and abide by the rules of commissioning matches? What about refereeing? Are referees fair? Is their selection appropriate? What about club owners and the management of various matches, security, and what have you? All these comes under the matters of what? Transparency and accountability. So accountability is not only financial. Whilst financial will be key concern because we need to save money and inject same into other sporting disciplines, we want to see transparency and accountability in all the processes so that you don't inject money only for either a match commissioner to do something otherwise that will mar the game, or a referee will do something else that will mar the game, or even fans will do something that will mar the game, or officials, club owners, club bank rollers, and what have you will do something that will mar the game. So transparency is key, accountability is key, and I'm going to drive hard on these areas.
Okay. Interesting to hear you say you are going to drive hard on these areas. I was going to ask you that, how do you intend to enforce all these to make sure that your office becomes a success?
Well, I believe in engagement. I'm one person who believes in engagement. Look, there are many who may point to this person or that person as the problem, and that go strike this person, and that is the only way we see you as working. Sometimes I think otherwise. I think engagement does the magic. And so one will try to engage. And I'm engaging with the position that all of us are part of the solution. I don't start a conversation seeing you as a problem. I start a conversation seeing you as part of the solution and try to let you see how we must do it in order for all of us to succeed. It is only if you prove to me that, no, these identifiable solutions you don't want to associate, you are not going to, you want to still stay where we were, which has given us all the problems, then I will treat you as part of the problem and not part of the solution. And in that case, the treatment will not be the same as treating you as part of what? The solution. So engagement, consultation. We will consult broadly. And at the end of the day, when we are taking decisions, we know that we are taking very, very satisfactory decisions. We are taking decisions that once implemented to the letter, it will take us out of all the troubles that has encountered us over the years and brought our sports so low.
All right. Now, I know that, since you were mentioned, you've done as you said, you've done your own underground work, knowing the state of sports here in Ghana. What do you think is the reason for our sports decline? The little that you've done, the little investigations you've done yourself that you are going to work on?
Well, clearly, in the statement of His Excellency yesterday, he mentioned some of them. Lack of accountability and transparency. The fact that sometimes no checks imbalances in place, or even if they exist, some incestuous relationships have so been introduced, such that the A that is supposed to check B doesn't check B because B2 will not check A. And so it has not helped the growth of the sport. Of course, funding has been a major issue. Funding has been a major issue. And because of lack of trust, whether from fans or from corporate institutions, the lack of trust, because we run our federations, our associations, our clubs like one-man business. Most of them, they are not run effectively with appropriate corporate governance structures in place. And so people are not willing to put their money in. If you treat clubs like one-man clubs, nobody will want to come and put his or her money in there. So funding has also been a matter of concern. Then, of course, corruption, where sometimes when monies come, they are not used for what it's really intended for. Very little goes into what is supposed to be used. Then infrastructure, which is also linked to funding, though infrastructure has not been the best. And some of this infrastructure is either poor, like currently you hear a lot of noise about astroturfs being done, but when you go and check, most of these astroturfs are not even up to standard. Where either they are not up to standard in terms of size of pitch, or they are not up to standard in terms of quality of material that has been used. And so infrastructure has become another matter. Then, of course, game governance of our games has been a problem. We are going to be looking into all these areas and to see to it that we strengthen. There is not enough professionals in the system to help grow our sport. We do not have a lot of professionals. In some instances, it is either former athletes or players who are called upon to kind of like help in training others, which should not be the case. As a country, we should be able to develop the skill sets of persons to serve as coaches, to serve, sports medicine, sports nutrition, sports management, and all those things, sports business, are all angles. Even media, the sports media must be upgraded. Look, I can tell you there are a lot of media persons who do not know how to even present a commentary of some particular sports. They don't even know how the scoring is done, and so it involves proper training.
Yeah. There's a lot.
There's so much that we must do to bring our sports disciplines and that's the various sporting disciplines to the level that we must bring it.
Okay, there's a lot of work ahead of you. But in your previous submission, I heard you talk about funding. Now, our major concern here has been the budget. The budget allocation for sports in the budget being, the presentation of the budget. Many feel that sports is really, really, really undervalued. We are not getting enough funding for sports. How do you intend to, as it were, get more funding so that, the other sports, apart from football, are also given, good attention, having a lot of revenue, a lot of money in there so that they are able to work and make sure that we get the other disciplines to that level. If not to the level of football, at least it should appreciate, in a way that we will all be happy about.
Well, it's been a headache. That's why I talked about the corporate world.
Okay.
That we need to bring on board the corporate world. They already have some corporate social responsibilities that they do sometimes. Can we organize this in such a way that it will help our sports? Can we sit with them and ask them what they want from us as leadership as a nation, as a country, as a state, what they think we should do for them to enable them also support our sport. When we agree, then we will now go back and plan all these together. So corporate funding from corporate Ghana will be one area that we would have to look at.
Okay.
But again, I'm going to be particularly interested in whatever little state can do for us to put it also at the grassroots level. Look, in the past when we were doing so well in some of the sporting disciplines, we took the grassroots a bit more serious. Our leagues were functioning very well. They were having numbers following our leagues. Look, those times, the Kotoko, the House of Oaks, the various RTUs, you could see numbers following them. Today, our Premier League is in its sorry state. Underfunded, poor discipline. The corporate governance system is so poor, and so fan indiscipline, lack of security, and so we are not even coaching our fans. Fan coaching doesn't exist, completely non-existent in our part of the world or our country. We need to look at all these areas to try and up our game.
Okay.
So investment in grassroots sports is going to be very high.
Okay.
So that we can catch them young. The amateur boxing, we need to catch them young. Football, we need to catch them young. We should not leave it for only the academies. You see, the academies, the football academies that are springing up, it's more of business. They try and pick the people, they train them small, the next moment they are taking them out, selling them. But the state must get involved in one way or the other, and to be able to help keep some of these skills all through. And that is what will strengthen our Premier Leagues.
Okay.
But if the guys get picked, and by age 15, 16, they are selling them out there, they don't impact in our local leagues. And so you will not have that strong local players that can easily fit into your national team.
But Honorable, how are you going to stop that, especially for footballers who are, as it were, trying to seek greener pastures at that early age? How can we do to stop them?
You see, for some of them, that is why we indicated that we were going to introduce a model that will give some allowance to our registered players of all the clubs that are playing at the Premier level. This, in one way or the other, will supplement whatever the clubs are paying them.
So do we still intend to do that?
Why will anyone think of leaving Ghana and go to war-torn Sudan or Iraq, Libya and the rest that they are going to play there? Why? They go there because they feel like they may earn something better than they are earning here. You think that if the state can get involved in one form or the other to up their remuneration through this allowance system, they won't love to play in Ghana here where we have peace. Nobody will want to go to a war-torn country.
So, Honorable, sorry to cut you in, but so do we still intend to do that, to pay the stipends for the Premier League players, for instance?
We mean to keep it.
Wow.
It was a manifesto promise, and we are not going to do away with it.
Do you have any figure in mind?
My only pain is what had happened recently when Kumasi Asante Kotoko went to play in Swatremai FC in Swatre, and what happened there. Sometimes when you are trying to bring corporates to support our sports, and incidents such as what happened there happens, they will not want to associate their brand with such things.
Yeah. But Honorable, so Have you thought about maybe a figure for the players, for instance, that you want to pay to each player or the teams?
Well, we are just about commencing further engagements.
Okay.
So I have just been sworn in yesterday. But before then, before elections, there were some levels of engagement. And so every item indicated in our manifesto have implementation plan. And there were some costing.
Okay.
But I don't think that the figures that were used then may apply today. So we will commence some levels of engagement with the GALCA, where the club owners are. And we will see how things will work out.
Okay. Yesterday, His Excellency, the President, did say that you have to work closely with the GFA to restore the Black Stars back to its glory days. And he said that you have to start with the GFA. And so my thinking is that I'm sure when you go to office on Monday, probably the GFA will be the starting point of your engagement. Would that be true?
Oh, actually, yesterday, I already spoke with my chief director, and we have sent a letter to GFA for a meeting on Monday. So when I meet the management of the ministry, my next appointment is with the FA. We are going to look at a lot of issues. Some of them, I must say, the FA itself have begun looking at it, but maybe we'll just have to up it. They say if you are sick and you have to take medication, you have to complete the dosage. When you start taking the medicine, you may feel well, but it doesn't mean that you must not take the full dose that you are expected to take. And so I don't want us to take half dose and think that because we are feeling well, it means we have been healed of the ailment. No. You have to take the full dose to finish destroying whatever organisms are embedded in you, which has resulted in such ill health situation. So I will admit that the GFA itself have started something that watching from afar is not bad, but I see it as half dose.
Okay.
Complete the dosage.
All right. Now, you're on record to have said that you will want to take another look at especially the appointments that have been made recently to the Black Stars technical team, and if possible, maybe find other options where you think that what we are paying those individuals will be too much for the country to, as it were, shoulder. Are you still standing by that?
You know, even yesterday at our swearing in, what did His Excellency the President say? He said, travels, especially foreign travels, are banned, and that when necessary, they must be cleared with the Chief of Staff. And that person who is cleared to travel should not fly on a first class, maybe at best business. So it should tell you that this is the mindset of the president. Every other person must equally develop same mindset, including the GFA. The GFA cannot live in a different world when the president's objectives and direction is that we should go this way. And so we will sit with them also for them to have that understanding.
Okay.
And I believe they will not kick against any such proposition. Because, look, our sport, our football is down. The trust level between management and fans and followers is low. It is actions such as what have been mentioned by His Excellency and what you have quoted as me proposing earlier in some of my engagements is what can bring back the confidence.
Okay.
And so it is even for the good of the sport. It's good for the game. It's good for the management, for us to be seen, to be perceived by the public and by the people that we are truly being financially prudent.
Okay. I know you said you have an engagement with another radio TV station at 8 a.m. So, we lost Honorable Kofi Adams on the line. Can we quickly bring him in because you have two quick questions for him before we finally take leave of us. Javier, but I mean, you're quickly, especially on the GFA meeting them on Monday, and he says that those issues raised will still be raised.
But I don't think it's only going to be the GFA. I think that the GFA.
That's where he's starting from.
That's where he's starting from. I'm sure you meet the other associations.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But that's in order.
Sure.
I mean, if you assume office, what you do is you consult all the stakeholders.
Yeah.
To put you in a certain position where you can see clearly whatever is going on. As far as those associations or federations are concerned.
Yeah.
So meeting them will bring to the fore some of the issues that they have and issues that maybe he may address or be in a position to address. Get a brighter picture of what is going on in some of the associations or the federations. So I think the meeting is in order. And I'm just hoping and praying that, just like I said earlier, it's not going to end with the FA, but it's going to go to other federations because there are other federations or associations that are also suffering. I mean, the so-called lesser sports associations or the lesser sports federations, they need money. They need some engagement for whatever they are going through. I mean, for people to know or the minister to know whatever they are going through, and if there's any help that he can give to them, then he can go ahead and give that help to them. So meetings with stakeholders, I mean, it's normal. I mean, if you assume a position, the first thing you do is to meet the stakeholders and make sure that you are aligned. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, no.
Okay. All right, Fifi, just a quick comment on it. We are trying to see whether we can raise the Honorable Kofi Adams back online. We got two more questions to ask him before he finally takes leave of us. So let's try and see.
I think like what's His Excellency the President urged him to do. It's important, like he has said.
Okay, I hear Honorable is back on. Honorable, I'm sorry, the line just tripped in there. I was saying that I know that you have another engagement with a TV station, and so we will not take much of your time. Just two quick questions in here. One to do with the Black Stars. Now, the major concern of many is that we are monetizing the Black Stars too much. The Black Stars will go to a tournament, they will lose two matches and win one and qualify, and we see we are paying qualification bonus. People are not happy with that. People are against it. The Black Stars will go to a tournament and they are paid appearance fee when they are supposed to play for pride for their country. How do you see these things, sir?
Well, I believe that the playing body and the management itself have been listening to the concerns of Ghanaians. If they are not following, I will be drawing their attention to it. That is one. Two, I kind of agree with some position on like this issue of winning bonuses and appearance fees and what have you. My proposition is that we could pay something like calling it qualifying bonus when you have qualified, but not when you win every match you are paid a bonus, especially for the non-playing body.
Okay.
That every match you win, you are paid a winning bonus. I think that we will have to work to take it out. And then when you ultimately qualify, and we want to give you something for qualification, because if you qualify for a major tournament, surely it also helps you generate some revenue. So some funding, some money is going to come your way. So if after qualifying, we spending some money in that direction, I may not have a problem with it. But I will have a problem when if you win a game, you are giving winning bonus. If you win a game, you are giving a winning bonus. That I will have a problem with.
Honorable, are you referring to the players or the officials?
The officials.
Okay.
As for the players, because that negotiations have happened, even for the players, we will be engaging them.
Okay.
Players sometimes don't really need this money. It is how we handle them that makes them use demand for that money as a basis. Because for some of them, maybe for the local ones, but most of our professional top players, what they are earning they really don't need this. Because when they take it, some of them will tell you, look, their expenses they incur when they come around is more than that money.
Yeah.
So they truly may not need it. But how do we engage them? Do we give them the necessary respect and recognition so they can reciprocate?
Okay. Well noted. Finally, the other one here from a colleague of mine is talking about the NSA and how you intend to make it more viable. The NSA looks a bit, it's like we've sidelined the NSA. Even recently, with what had happened at Inswatre, the GFA has been meeting with clubs, with officials of the supporters, with police, with government and all that. But they've not even involved the NSA in all these. NSA, how concerned are you about NSA? As we speak today, even in Kumasi, we don't have a regional director in place. We don't have a director general as well. It is a sector that many are also concerned about.
I'm very much concerned about NSA because the NSA is the bridge between my ministry and the sporting federations and associations. If the NSA was functioning effectively, a lot of the things that have been happening to us will not be happening. Our playing pitches will not be banned. So many things. The security, stadium security and what have you, will not be this low. It's because the NSA has just turned themselves into some group of persons who just rent out their facility, get something little, and they are okay. The NSA under the John Dramani Mohammed's administration will not be the NSA that we have known in the past.
Okay.
We are going to really make it run effectively and efficiently for the benefit of what? All.
Okay. All right. Thank you very, very much, Honorable Kofi Adams. A colleague of mine here says that when he was at UCC, he used to come to Radio Valco. His name is Clement Amwa, so he says hello to you.
Oh, okay. Radio Valco days were with Seth Kwame Boateng and Co.
Yeah. Erasmus.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of them. The former spokesperson for MPA, Ani Osabute.
Ani. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Malik Ramsey.
Yes. Okay, Honorable, so thank you very much for your time. We could have gone on and on, but I know that you have other engagements. So we'll be calling you maybe later on for more discussions. Thanks so much and enjoy the rest of your weekend, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so that was Honorable Kofi Adams, Minister for Sports and Recreation. He was sworn in yesterday, and for the first time after he was sworn into office, you hear him on Love 99.5 FM.